Hey guys, what's up? Today I'm going to be showing you how to do a slick back taper. It's like one of my most requested haircut tutorials ever. I'm going to do it on my brother, so I hope you guys enjoy. I start off by sectioning off the top of the hair. I want to make sure that it's the flat part of the head. Okay, so this haircut could have gone two different ways. Either way, you're going to get bomb results. But pretty much in this take, I separate this long hair right here, the temple hair, and always do this little triangle piece right here because it's going to be your connection between the short hair to the long hair on top. Here, I'm just debulking with the number 2, but keep in mind that you're going to keep this number 2 super low, literally just around the ears, just around the sideburns. Be warned that if you take the number 2 all the way up to your separated hair, there's no way you're going to be able to make the connection between this shorter hair to the long hair. It's just going to be like an undercut y echaste a perder el corte. But also remember that echándose a perder se aprende. Shoot, or at least that's what the lady that was training me kept telling me. She felt so bad probably that I was chopping heads left and right. She was trying to like show me the light at the end of the tunnel. And I remember one time I was doing a high fade on someone, and I must have taken my guideline too high because I ran out of space to even fade. So I was pretty much already at the top of the head, and I just look at her like, oh my god, I need help ASAP. And she came over, she left her client to help me, and she did the best she could. Like, how much can you do with like half an inch of space to fade? It was too late. The client had already seen himself in the mirror and he was noticeably upset. At this point, he just sat through it like a champ. We handed him the mirror. He didn't like it. He gave her an ugly face. He gave me an ugly face, and he left. Well, he paid. He was a nice guy. And she just looked at me and she was like, damn, he looked at me like if I'm the one that messed up his hair. Okay, so back to the haircut. Here I'm doing a mid to low taper. I started off with my trimmers to create my guideline. Now I'm using my clippers. I start off with a 0, open it up to a half, do that on both sides. And this is actually a WAHL Senior. It just has a rose gold skin on it. I think I got it on Amazon for like $15. And it is pretty rare for me to cut my brother's hair because we're both pretty busy barbers at the shop. This day, I think I came in like on a day that I don't usually come in because of Thanksgiving. It was like a Tuesday morning and I didn't have a lot of clients. And Tuesday mornings, regardless, are pretty slow. So I don't think Junior had a client till like later on in the day. But yeah, we were just both taking advantage of the slow time. And I was like, dude, let me cut you up for a YouTube video. And he's just like always down for a haircut. But yeah, when I'm doing a taper, I don't always just look at the back side. I will take a step back and look from like the profile sides to make sure that it also looks good from the side. You don't want it to just look good from the back. You'll see a lot of clipper over comb in this tutorial. It's kind of hard to explain. It's one of those things that you just have to practice a lot in order to get, but pretty much it's angling your comb to where the short hair and the long hair meet, and then you just cut everything in between. For tapers with long hair, you're gonna scoop, scoop, scoop. So this is the part where I was saying that you could have done it this way or the other way. In the beginning of the video, I separated this temple hair, and now I'm showing you how I'm cutting the sides. You could have just went straight into cutting the sides and then debulking with the number 2 low around the ear. I've been cutting hair for over 10 years, but I feel like I just started to up my shear game because when I first started in 2012, a lot of the haircuts were fades, basic fades, a number 3 on top and a skin fade, or a number 4 with a taper, or even I got a lot of flat tops, and those haircuts are mostly clipper stuff. But with time, the styles start to change, and I think with the pandemic, a lot of people started to grow out their hair, and that's where we got this like new wave of hairstyles. So the slick back came back really strong, so did the shag and like mullets. So like all these longer hair styles became the trend. I'm just looking at how hard I hit those shears and I'm like, God damn, no wonder it hurt so bad when I nicked myself. The hell? I can never just do a haircut with shears. I always have to go back and correct whatever little inconsistency I made with the scissors. I have to go back with my clipper over comb. That is my specialty. So it was really just a couple years ago that I got my HANZO shears, and I was like, well, I can't own like these shears that are super expensive and not know how to correctly scissor trim long hair. So that's when I like started watching YouTube videos and trying to improve my skills. There's this barber that I follow. His YouTube channel is BARBER. He's super good at cutting long hair with shears, and I recommend that you go check him out because I learned a lot of stuff from him. And that's the thing about this industry. There's so many people that have been doing this for so long, but you can't always trust people that say, oh, I've been doing this for this long, because let's say they have, but have they improved their skills since then? Have they updated their tools since then? Have they kept up with trends? Have they learned all about the new things that are in these days in the sense of enhancements and other services that people might want? Or are they the type of person that doesn't want to learn anything because they already know everything and they feel like they are super successful and they just want to stay there? That's just too plain old school for me. I think this is what makes me a great barber right here, because the amount of pleasure that I get from just making a crisp line with these sharp ass trimmers fills my soul. It is so satisfying for me. It just feels so good to see a clean neckline. And see, this is why I think I take a long time to do my haircuts, because it looked nice. It looked great. Now, something in my OCD mind, my perfectionist way of living, was like, no, you can kind of clean up that ear hair by doing a little swoop with your comb and bringing out the hair and cutting it. So I guess that's what I did. It did pay off because it looked great in person. It looks good in the camera, but you could have done without all that extra stuff. And when I say a long time for me is 45 minutes, because I know that usually like the average barber can do a haircut in 30 minutes. So I can get there, but in my mind, I feel like I'm not completely done because of all the extra OCD fine detailing that I have to do. A lot of my clients like coming to me because they say that I take my time and I pay attention to detail, when I've heard other clients say that what they care about is a good, decent haircut and they want to come in and out and they don't want to spend too much time on the chair. And that's why I say that there's someone for everyone, because that client that likes to come in and out is going to go to that barber that gets them in and out, versus that client that likes to sit down and talk and do the whole experience that way is probably going to go to someone like me. When you begin to pick up a clientele, you'll start to notice a pattern of like the type of people who gravitate towards you. So that's why I always say to be yourself, talk about interests that you like, and you and your client will eventually have a grounds of this common interest, and you guys can develop like a nice clientele barber relationship. Okay, this is always a little tricky situation when you're cutting up your coworker and your client walks in and you're like, ah shit, this is embarrassing. Like, I'm cutting a barber's hair and you're just waiting. But it's fine because my client showed up a little bit early, so he totally understands. So I'm just gonna quickly finish this back part of the haircut because I don't want to get lost later on. All that is left is to cut the top part of the hair that we sectioned off at first. So for the next 4 hours, Junior is gonna rock this super cool unfinished haircut, which is pretty common in the barbershop. Like, you'll see barbers be like midway and just midway on their own haircut while doing like a haircut. So good thing we got pretty far along where he's not gonna look super silly. Usually he would like throw a hat on. Today I told him he didn't have a hat, and I told him not to put pomade in it because then it's going to be annoying. I have to wash out the pomade, dry his hair, and then cut the top. So he just used the little clippies to clip his hair back, and that's how he looked for the rest of the day. If you're still here, I just want to thank you so much, because it's people like you that really keep me going, like people that really want to watch like my haircut tutorials or like what I have to say. That really is so special to me. And I know like part of it is probably because you want to become like a more experienced barber, or you want to learn some things, and that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to help you guys. If you guys have any other questions, or if there's like a certain video you would like me to make, go ahead and drop it down in the comments. And also, if you have found any value at all from my video, please give me a thumbs up, a like, a subscribe, and also check out my TikTok and my Instagram. Those are the platforms that I mostly try to post on daily. And it's funny because this haircut right here got me like my first most viral video ever. It got like 21 million views on TikTok. So this was like a most liked, most popular, most looked for tutorial, and here it is for y'all. So the pressure just got a little bit more intense because Junior's client has now arrived, so I really gotta hurry up. And cricket, it is now nighttime and I'm super exhausted, but I have to finish this video for you guys. We both had such a busy day, and I'm gonna just pull through to finish this video because he was like, nah, just do it tomorrow. And I'm like, bruh, your hair is literally gonna be like a 4 o'clock shadow tomorrow and it's not gonna look the same. So we buckled down and we got it done. Okay, so back to the haircut. I went ahead and split it down the middle with my comb. I made sure that it was wet. Then I grabbed about 1 inch thick section and I made a vertical line all the way to the back of his head. That's what I'm doing now. So it's little piece by piece. But in the very front of the bang part, I went ahead and cut. We both decided on about 1 inch to cut. So that's what I'm doing. I'm cutting about 1 inch, and then I grab some hair from the back like I just did here, and I angle it to the new hair and then cut it. I know I'm probably not explaining it correctly, but here, let's give it another go. So my guideline is the hair that I've already cut. I flip it to the other side, grab some uncut hair, and then some of that hair is like too much already cut hair, so then I fling it down, make my cut, fling it down, grab some more uncut hair with my pinky. You don't have to use your pinky, you can do it more proper than that, but that's how I do it. And then I trim, let go of that new hair, grab some uncut hair, angle, and cut. So I'm gonna bring some of that already cut hair into my new guide all the way vertically down his head. Oh, there goes my hair. Okay, so just like you guys are trying to learn new hairstyles, I'm trying to learn how to make YouTube videos correctly, and I'm learning, guys. I just figured out that I'm probably gonna have to have my hair up for every single time I make a video because I can't be looking like a bruja with my hair all up in there. Here is my new set of hair with my guideline that I brought over from the other side. So I will continue to repeat the same process until I am finished with all the hair from the middle to the right side. Then I will begin again from the middle to the left side. And it's actually a miracle that I haven't cut myself yet because I just got my scissors sharpened, and for some reason, I don't know if it's like in my head or what, or maybe they're just actually more sharp and they get me, but I nick myself so much recently, like after I got them sharpened. It's nuts. Also, they say, well, like not they say, I'm pretty sure it's actually a rule in barber school, but you're not supposed to cut past your knuckle. I guess I'm just lazy, or I think like, it's cool, I can cut this hair past my knuckle, and most times I'm good. Other times I straight cut myself. But ask any barber or cosmetologist to show you their middle finger knuckle, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be filled with scars. And the worst thing about it is that I think that it's always the same spot. Like, I nick myself in the same spot on my middle finger knuckle all the time, and sometimes it's like a fresh wound and whoop, I'll get it again. Even if I'm wearing a band-aid, I'll cut the band-aid in the same spot. Also, I recommend that if you're cutting with shears that the hair be wet because it's easier to grab and separate and cut. But there are times where I prefer it to be a little bit drier than wetter because I feel like I have a lot of PTSD from when I first started cutting, and I would get the hair really wet and I would cut it like a pro, or so I thought. I was a pro with the shears, and then I would dry it and you can see like just choppy, ugly cuts that were very hard to clean up. So I like it to be a little dry so that I can dry it quickly and like see if I made any mistakes or not. After cutting all of the hair vertically, I go ahead and bring it all forward, and I make sure that the bangs are the longest part of the long hair. Then I start to kind of like make it an angled cut. I like for the hair to kind of like sit on top of the ear. I like that to be the middle part, and then go higher in the back, but always the bangs longer. I'm trying to keep a diagonal form from the top left being higher down to the right where the bangs are, and I never make a clean cut. It is always point cutting with the tip of my shears. And ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up the haircut part of this video. Now I'm going to show you how I style it. So I begin by putting everything back, wetting it a little bit with some mist, and I like to use Layrite as a pomade to kind of slick the hair back because it's one of our strongest holds that we carry in the shop. For slick back, it's a lot of maintenance, so this is what's going to keep the hair in place longest. I go ahead and use a rolly brush to kind of bring out that bang. And there you have it, a classic old man haircut and a nice young man. Oh my gosh, my poor brother, look at his face right now. He's like so over it. Yeah, he can't wait to go home. But anyways, guys, this is the final look. Let me know if you liked it in the comments, and I will be back with another video very shortly. Bye!